Mr. Petrucelli?
Joe Petrucelli, 62. Question for Mr. Baumann. He kind of confused me with Mr. Stevens speaking, so I wanted to be clear. Is he the author of the document that is being presented tonight?
I did draft the ordinance, yes, sir.
On the direction of the mayor?
Actually, the mayor at the time, Councilman Karabenchik, a number of people asked. I guess I talked to Jeff Lair about
Have
it.
any of you council been involved in the drafting of the ordinance?
No, not me.
Have any of the new council members been part of the, and Mr. Karabenchik, I'm sure did that when he was on the council. Have any of the council members that are presently sitting there been involved in the drafting of the ordinance? Don't you think that's a problem in itself? That you're not part of a document?
No, let him finish, Councilor.
Well, you seek Mr. Karabenchik's advice when he was on council. Why wouldn't you seek the advice of the council that's currently up there? And please, Mr. Lear, let me speak. I didn't ask a question.
Well,
We get 6 minutes up
He's letting you
here.
go, Joe. Go
I
ahead.
understand.
You know, if he wants it, if you want to address me afterwards, please do,
fine.
Mr. Lear, and I respect your opinion on it. As a special counsel, what's his responsibilities, who does he report to, and who checks his billings, and what he's charging? Because I've heard some horror stories about the developers suing towns, or that these developers are getting charged exorbitant fees by these attorneys. So who's the checks and balance on special counsel, and who authorized the special counsel? I think it was the other counsel, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
Mr. Cancro, maybe you could shed some light on that rather than have Mr. Baumann talk about it.
Is the question, Mr. Petrucelli, who authorizes payment and who reviews the bills?
Well, there's a special, I look at things, and maybe I'm simplistic, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can, is we have a special counsel for redevelopment. That would require the governing body to institute that position or that service. And I'm sure it probably was an unspecifiable contract, so we don't get 3 bids, but let's put that aside for now. So I'm sure somewhere along the line there was an unspecifiable contract. Was it this council that approved it, or was it the prior council that approved it?
Yeah, we've been retained by, this council has approved a professional services contract with us. As far as our bills, they're paid, they're reimbursed to the township out of the escrow that's established with Harts Mountain in order to address the concern that you raised, which is the developer coming back to the township subsequently and complaining about the fees. They receive a courtesy copy of every bill, and so they have the ability to review the bill on an ongoing basis. If they have an objection, they can raise it, and to date, I don't think that's occurred.
Okay, but so that would be, Mr. Cancro, my understanding is then you would review it after having forwarded it, or as the BA signing off on the bills?
Council President, the bills come into the township, I review them, and then they're put through the normal process for payment.
I wanted to read something because I think it's important. First, we must restore the faith of our residents in our government. Edison government must be open, transparent, and responsive to the needs of our citizens. Redevelopers pay-to-play reform, imminent, a strict ban of political contributions from large developers in areas in need of redevelopment. Referendum on eminent domain initiative and one overwhelming public support. These are quotes that the mayor has on your website. One of them, eminent domain. 1 minute we're bragging how great we are to limit it, and another minute we're giving away the responsibility. Redevelopers. They use the word redevelopers and pay for play. We have strict pay for play guidelines. My question is, who determines that once you have the redevelopment agency? Who's going to monitor those contracts? Because my understanding, some of the redevelopment stories, and this is through accounting, I can't speak, but some of the auditors that I've seen across the state when they get to redevelopment agencies, one of the biggest concerns is that some of these redevelopment agencies can award contracts. And I think in our audit report, we had numerous, I think the word was used, numerous pay-for-play violations with the 17.5. I mean, it was noted in your audit report. So it seems like we speak out of 2 sides of the mouth. One is we're restricting, and the other is now we're trying to circumvent. It's mixed messages, and it's a shame that we sit here and we look like we're constantly opposing the council. It's really people that have a lot of knowledge about this, have experience about it, concerned because they have children in this community, concerned by the traffic, concerned by the overriding taxes, concerned about the burgeoning schools. I mean, you're throwing that all away. At least make them modify it to the point where you are